executable isolations onto multiple targets. JT, though, gonna go for the Jace once again. Pan got a pentakill. It was his third most picked champion across the entire year. Vivo Kid not changing anything up, though. Kha'Zix and Morgana back-to-back.
Interesting. So the bans are exactly the same. The first pick Jace is the same thing, but a little bit of adaptation from Vivo Key. They're going for Morgana instead of the Rakan. Now, if you're on the side of J Team, I would really like them to take away that Rakan, because I think it's one of the main champions and one of the main playmakers for Maina. There has been situations before, and I do want to shout this out, that if Maina doesn't get this Rakan, there has been situations with Vivo Key where they've played Sona in the bot lane with Nasus, which could be a possibility as well, as they take Dawn as well back up to Wukong. This is going to be a Lee Sin pick here. It's just going to be the exact same draft for J-Team.
I mean, yeah, J-Team don't have to really change up anything. Don't fix what isn't broken, right? I mean, it is, the onus is on Vivo Key to be the ones that force the adaptation. And so far, the Vivo Key are not necessarily really giving a reason to J-Team to say, you have to pick the Vayne right now. You have to pick the Lulu right now. I was like, no, just go for the same strong three-man core, which was the Wukong, Lee Sin, and Jace.
That was the main three, and oh, there we go. We're going to be getting our first Singed of icons, and it has been banned a few times as well, but for Katrina on this Singe as well, has played it 4 times already this year, was one of his most played champions as well in the playoffs in the World Tour, so it's a champion that he is very, very comfortable on, and especially with a Morgana by your side as well with a Black Shield, he could just run around and he'll be completely fine.
You are guaranteed an engage now with this combo, because the Black Shield ensures that you won't get stopped by a Dragon's Rage kick, a Cyclone from Wukong, even Jace batting you away with the hammer. The Black Shield is going to prevent the CC, so you can always get in and look for a flip onto one key target. The other big thing that I want to point out from Vivo Key, they take away the Vayne from Barry as well.
Yeah, they take away the Vayne, they take away the Corki as well, so is Barry going to be picking up another ADC? Come on, give me a Xayah, give me a Tristana, come on. You've showed the Vayne, you showed that you can play the AD carries in the bot lane. I want to give it more. But for those who may be a little bit new to Wild Rift, you're probably thinking, you know, Singed? In Wild Rift, what is this? I've never seen
Singed
before. Yeah, and
too.
it's also mid lane Singed as well, which is the interesting part. The thing about Singed, you know, you've got so much wave clear, you've got so much roaming potential. Protobelt is a boots upgrade as well, so it means you just Protobelt forward, flip someone back, and he's just so hard to kill.
J-Team are going to round out their composition this time around, not with a marksman, but it's going to be a mage with the Orianna. And because of how well Galio can combo well with mages, either in the engage potential with Justice Punch into Shockwave, but it's also the fact that Orianna can be left by herself in the Dragon Lane so that Galio is enabled to roam around the map.
That's an interesting one. They're going to be playing Morgana Nami in the dual lane for the side of Vivo Key. You don't normally see Nami paired with mages in the bot lane, because most of the time, you know, with the healings and also Nami's third ability, allowing the auto attacks to get enhanced. But it means they're just going for this pretty much all-out team fight comp. You know, you've got the Camille, you've got the Morgana, the Singe as well that can flip, and also Maina as well on this Nami.
Yeah, because I don't believe Wild Rift ever made the change where Nami's third ability would not only slow on auto attacks, but also on abilities. So I think that is specifically PC only. So, yeah, sushi afterwards.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, well, Vivo Kid and J-Team still got a series to play out, so we can't be leaving anytime soon, and I definitely don't want to be leaving anytime soon, because after what J-Team demonstrated, I want to see if they can do it again, or if Vivo Kid can rise to the occasion.
Yeah, Vivo Kid have to be the ones that have to try and do something different this time, and they're just going to get engaged already at level 1.
Level 1 exhaust already forced out. DY saying, yeah, you're a fish and you've got annoying poke, but I have all-in potential here, and it's already putting Vivo Kid on the back foot.
And Alistair spoke about this at the start of the series as well, about DY playing these aggressive duo bot lane supports, going in at level 1, going for these crazy plays, and he does the exact same thing again as well. And Galio is not really a pick that's quite popular. It was very popular before in competitive, but with all the recent changes that Galio got, you know, the taunt duration is now a little bit shorter, and also the time it gets to get that full duration of the taunt is now longer. So not a big priority in terms of competitive, but DY has played this pick 32 times this year, so it's definitely a champion that he's comfortable on.
Meanwhile, on the Baron side, Odysseus was forced to use both of their summoner spells, as Dawn was looking for the all-in thanks to the Ignite. Odysseus now slightly on the back foot, heals back up with the Honey Fruit. But now, the way that the rotation set up from J-Team, Cherry pushing in with Pan, pushing into the top side of the map. Yes, Lord is able to get out alive, but now they have ceded total priority. Even DY is here, so there's 4 people that could collapse on the Baron side of the map now.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately for Odysseus, he was able to go back to base. He's not actually here right now, but DY just showed himself Baron lane as well, and he's just like, yeah, I'm just going to push this. And look, they're going to try and trap Odysseus as well inside. But then Nami's here as well.
Yeah, Mena is here at least for the 2v3. Not 2v4 quite yet, but now Pan having the first rotation coming on up. Lord and Katrina are responding. Oh, but they're pulling the trigger. 3-man bubble from Mena. Can it stall out as much time as they can? Odysseus, hook shotting over, trying to get as much distance as they've possible. First blood goes over to Pan and J-Team once again, but Vivo Kid are able to answer back. The adaptation has come through for Brazil.
2-for-1 trade over to Vivo Kid, and J-Team, they were playing this, aggressive comp. They were trying to get a little bit of an advantage in the Baron lane. They tried to get a little bit of a pick, but I really love the rotations. Mena up into the Baron lane and Lord as well. It was absolutely beautiful. And now on the side of Vivo Key, they're going to try and look to maybe use this into advantage. We take a look at our Coca-Cola pop-off. We're going to see this again. This 3-man bubble by Mena. Hopefully get it in nice slow motion. Oh, look at that. It's absolutely beautiful. And at J-Team, they have nowhere else to go, so they have to actually walk through the tower to try and escape. And I think Cherry in the end took like 3 tower shots, even a little thumb up emoji as well.
This is the all-pro support from Brazil, coming through strong in the opening main move from J-Team. A 4-man collapse attempt and dive onto Odysseus. Yes, Vivo Key didn't rotate all 4 members at the same time, but Mena was the only person there to dissuade and neutralize most of the advancements. And J-Team, yes, they ended up getting first blood, but a 2-kill lead overall for Vivo Key is more than happy now for this Brazilian squad.
They'll take it for sure. I mean, especially because it looked a little bit doomed and gloomed, really, for Odysseus being by himself up in the Baron lane. But now it's going to be interesting to see what Vivo Key do, because it seems like they were trying to do this last game as well. They're trying to collapse and kind of take advantage on the mistakes and the overextension from J-Team. Mena in the first game on the Rakan tried to go in and kind of go for the little bit of aggression when the J-Team are looking to try and make them over-aggressive tower dives.
In the bottom
exactly,
side of the map,
the invading as well, yeah. And they've done the exact same thing this game as well, but this time it actually pays off in their favor.
Due to their efforts, Katrina is able to complete a Rally's Crystal Scepter at the same time as Pan with the Hullbreaker. So already, this Singed, it's a force you cannot disrespect, because if you ever get too close and you get flipped, and once in the poison, you're permanently slowed. Pan still actually doesn't have flash available, and he just goes down. Vivo Kid taking great advantage of this pick.
Beautiful. I mean, Katrina again on the Singe pick, as you mentioned, there's nothing that really a Jace can do when he doesn't have flash. He only just had flash up and available now. It's actually on cooldown, which means that, like you said, the flip means that you're just going to get slowed, and also the pull as well means that you can't really use any mobility abilities or anything like that, which means that Lord was able to move down to the bot side as well and get another kill, and that's 3 kills to 1 now over to the side of Vivo Key. So a much better early game by them.
Vivo Kid coming online. Luden's Echo for Slash, Duskblade for Lord. They're in position to contest J-Team for the Rift Herald. Cherry, a lot of burst damage on the backside, losing half his HP, forced to flash away from Slash as well.
Vivo Kid are doing really well this game. They're doing really well at trying to see where the champions of J-Team are. They're going to try and go for this Rift Herald, but Mena is here, does use the control ward as well, which means that they'll be able to see the Rift Herald, but they're pushing out as well. Did they actually have vision of that Rift Herald that far out from that ward? I'm actually quite curious. I don't even know if they have vision of, but Lord's going to try and go in anyway. There's the tidal wave. Yeah,
it was difficult for Vivo Key to walk in, but now the tidal wave gives them access now. Dawn with the Cyclone knocking up 3 members onto the backside. DY following up the hero's entrance. Vivo Key are forced back. Dawn is traded back for Slash though, and Lord looking for stragglers off of the back end.
Cherry.
But Cherry from out of nowhere picking up Odysseus. A little too low on the back end of that one. Vivo Key find a 1 for 2. J-Team picking up the Rift Herald as well.
Yeah, J-Team pick up the Rift Herald in the end, but it was actually Vivo Key the ones that went for the engage this time as well. They're trying to get a little advantages here and there, but unfortunately they weren't able to. And Cherry on this Lee Sin has been so strong. over-aggressed a little bit too many times, but we're going to take a look back at this replay as well. It was originally the tidal wave, and DY got completely isolated by himself. But look at the engage from Dawn here. You know, the Cyclone 3-man knock-up as well, and then you've got Galio on top of that. But Vivo Key, you know, they're fighting back. They're able to get little advantages here and there as well. Berry had to flash away as well. The Cherry on this backline. Just beautiful play by him being able to isolate Odysseus and get that nice quick kill.
For Vivo Key now, the next step forward is looking for a way to continue using the power of this Singed pick to continue feeding kills into Lord, because Singed can be a nuisance in these team fights. You can create the slow field, but he is not a 1v9 champion. He's not someone that just does an insane amount of damage unless J-Team just willingly continues following him through the poison trail. And most pro teams know, never chase the Singed.
No, never chase the Singed. That's the one thing I think, if, you know, for new players that are maybe coming into Wild Rift, if you see that Singed, and if you run towards him and there's a little poison trail behind, it's not something you want to be dealing with. Katrina might get a little bit caught here.
Well, 3-man might just be able to do it. You know, Katrina, you don't want to chase him, but if you just lock him down for long enough and you get the burst damage through, that is one way you deal with it.
It's definitely one way you can deal with it. You know, make sure that Singed can't run around and be that nuisance that he loves to be. But again, Vivo Key, they didn't look to try and contest the Rift the Dragon, sorry. Instead, they tried to defend the mid lane tower, but I mean, the J-Team was able to pick up the Dragon, they're able to pick up the bot lane tower, and we can even look at Berry as well, trying to take that mid lane tower, and then he might even get it as well.
478 HP, and you can see Berry was close to knocking it down, but Mena and Slash are here to defend. Oh, Odysseus has Hextech Ultimatum available, can't get in range though of Berry, and the Shockwave just a little too much of a threat. And Vivo Key are not going to pull the trigger for the pick.
So now we're going to look and see if J-Team are going to be playing as aggressive and go for these more invades now, because they're not really at the same advantage as what they were in the last game. You know, it's a bit of a closer game, which means that J-Team have to try and look and see if they can get these little invades. But look at Vivo Key, look at Katrina Lord there, waiting for that perfect time.
Oh, Katrina with the Mega Adhesive doesn't quite land on the pan, so he's able to Proto Belt away. The flash guarantees that he gets out, and now you have Cherry as reinforcements, looking to isolate members from Vivo Key. Lord gets picked off here. Katrina trying to flip away the opposing members of J-Team, forced to use the flash, gets out alive, but it's pressure seeded over to J-Team.
And that's the problem if you don't have that bot lane tower as well. It means that DY can even go through the enemy territory and be fine, but he could get caught out here though.
Okay, they don't have Lord here, but Odysseus looking for the turnaround. Mena and the tidal wave finds a 2-man knockup. Pan locked down here, eventually bites the dust from Vivo Key, but they trade back on to Slash, a 1-for-1, still favoring J-Team with the positional advantage.
Yeah, they might be trying to go to the back now. They are pinging towards that Rift Herald, which is up in 5 seconds. That's definitely the next objective that they're going to be looking for. But Vivo Key, they're down the bot side at the moment, but the problem is that Rift Herald's up. You know, Cherry's going there straight away, and he's just going to be able to get a free Rift Herald because no one on Vivo Key can even get there in time.
It's on Vision. The control ward is there from Vivo Key, so they know that Cherry has started up the objective.
Moving up there.
Yeah, it's gonna be close. Cherry's got to be a little slow with it. He's gonna get off of the Rift Herald for now because he knows that if you don't want to necessarily flip and give the easy steal over to Lord. He jumps over the pit. Cherry's there with the smite, securing the Rift Herald for them, and Vivo Key don't necessarily get in position to look for this fight, but a huge kick on the Lord sends them back to the fountain, and the rest of Vivo Key, they're on the run. Cyclone is huge, and a nice 2-man moment from Mena dissuades any further action, but once again, Stewart, J-Team, finding themselves ahead and strangleholding Vivo Key out of the game.
It's just finding them little bits of plays that they can make. You know, it was Lord and Katrina that tried to go over the wall with the Blast Cone. I know you forgot the name there for a second. They tried to go over the wall with the Blast Cone. They tried to steal that Rift Herald, but they weren't able to get the Rift Herald, and that means that DY and Cherry can just shut down and lock down Lord on this Kha'Zix, and he couldn't jump away because there's just so much to do.
Yeah, he already committed the jump to get into the pit in the first place. And there's a pattern that we have seen with some of the more experienced teams coming in, a J-Team as a big example. As soon as they see members desperately looking to contest an objective or looking for a steal, and they've exhausted all of their main escape tools, there is no hesitation to immediately punish, to look for an all-in kill. And any time that Vivo Key is caught out of position when they don't have their front-to-back members set up for the team fight composition, it is so hard for them to actually coordinate well against J-Team.
And it's hard as well because I feel like, you know, Kha'Zix is kind of your main damage source, it seems like, for this comp as well. So Kha'Zix has been completely isolated. You can see that J-Team, there's 3 members of the side of Vivo Key on top side of the map. And that means that J-Team can just take the entire, nearly the entire base.
Thankfully for Vivo Key, they're gonna at least stop the Rift Herald from crashing. I thought at least, you know, for sure it wasn't going to take out the inhibitor turret, but the fact that they prevent the crash from happening means that J-Team don't actually get any use out of the Rift Herald. They took the second tier turret without even needing it, but the pressure and the threat of it taking out an inhibitor, or at least doing damage, forced Vivo Key to cede control of the Baron side of the map, which now allows J-Team to best vision control all in the bottom quadrant. Look at how many control wards are littered in there.
And this is what they did as well in the regular season as well in the WRL. They were able to get this deep vision across, and they did it in last game, they did it this game as well, and this is just how confident J-Team are. If they get that deep vision, if they can get picks as well, which is what they're trying to get, and you can just see with how passive Vivo Key are playing as well, they can't really walk up at all because there's so many towers that have gone down, and with this dragon as well, it's going to be another dragon over to J-Team.
And look what Dawn is doing. He is preventing Odysseus from being able to leave this side of the map. J-Team secure the dragon, and he might be the next target here for DY. Justice Punch lands. Bubble is there, gets a knockup down. Odysseus is able to escape thanks to the hook shot. Shockwave was dodged out as well. He lives to tell another day, but for Vivo Key, once again, it is the story of J-Team just slowly bleeding out Vivo Key, and if there's no fight from Vivo Key, then J-Team are just slowly going to take this game.
Hey, just a little bit of deja vu. You can see again, J-Team are going to be on the top side of the map. They're going to get deep vision. They're going to take away the jungle camps as well, and Lord nearly face checked. He needs to be a little bit careful, but you can see at the moment that there's just nothing really that Vivo Key can do at all. They're going to get J-Team and get another tower up in the Baron lane, and there's just no source of engage, there's no source of aggression or anything like that, and J-Team can just take absolutely everything.
And they just snowball the advantage to 10,000 gold now. Vivo Key are very, very dangerously behind in terms of stats, in terms of item power overall. Oh no, Odysseus trying to escape with the hook shot, but the overwhelming aggression from J-Team, all collapsing immediately, no hesitation whatsoever. Find themselves at a numbers advantage once again. There's no neutral objectives that they can immediately punish with, but Vivo Key, they're running out of options.
And again, that's in Vivo Key's side of the map as well. J-Team are getting picks and J-Team are getting kills on Vivo Key's side of the map. And it's just, Vivo Key, you have to be worried if you're them now, because everywhere you walk, there might be a member of J-Team there, ready to pounce onto you.
We're approaching the 15-minute mark here, Stuart. 9-5. But a 11,000 gold lead for J-Team is the looming elephant over Vivo Key's heads right now. And for them, options are low in terms of how they want to engage, because even the squishiest target that they can look for, stasises are online, flashes are available. So the reliability of an executable play from Vivo Key is very low.
Yeah, I mean, the only real engage they have is from Odysseus on this Camille. Other than that, you don't really have that much more engage unless Katrina tries to jump in. But really nice tidal wave, and there's a few things down for J-Team there. Nothing too major. The tidal wave is also down as well for Maynard. They're going to try and push out this mid lane as well, but again, you know, if you're Vivo Key, you really need to try and look for an engage. But as you mentioned, you know, with the stasises and also a Galio as well on the side of J-Team, it's so hard for Vivo Key to even jump on. And Odysseus?
Odysseus has been splitting both in Game 1 and in Game 2, trying to look for turrets to get gold back into the pockets of Vivo Key, but it comes at a sacrifice, being isolated from the support of the rest of the map. And Vivo Key are not in a position to at least force the Baron immediately, because Baron is such a difficult objective to take down. One doesn't simply just start up the Baron. You have to make sure that J-Team have no way to respond.
And the thing is that J-Team are not taking that risk as well at the same time. You know, J-Team are not going to take the Baron. You know, Vivo Keyed, they don't have the vision or anything to even walk out of their own jungle at the moment, so they can't even get close to even try and get towards that Baron, even though Cherry's on the bot side, and they realize that. And Odysseus, you know, he's been split pushing the last game, and he's used to doing this as well. No, he split pushes quite a lot, but Dawn, he just goes in 1 versus 4.
Oh, well, Dawn would dodge down on the bubble, but he still has a GA here. Cyclone available, 3-man taunt. The rest of J-Team coming for the collapse, and Vivo Keyed are falling like flies. This is the power of WRL being in full demonstration from J-Team.
And now they can look to go back and go towards the Baron if they want to. They are quite low on health, so they do need to be a little bit careful. But look, again, they're not going to take that risk. Again, it's just them little bits of plays, a little bit of mistakes from Vivo Keyed, whether it's an overstep, whether it's them trying to get vision, and then J-Team just pounce on that mistake, and they just say, okay, we're going to go in, we're going to use our engages, and we're going to get the kills. And again, they're just not taking the objectives.
And this is the second time that Vivo Keyed in this series look for a 4-man, 5-man stack ambush play. But once again, it is on Dawn. And it's just so hard to lock him down, and it's so dangerous to try and make that pick onto something like a Wukong, who can immediately turn around the momentum of the fight in an instant.
Exactly, you can just use Cyclone, you can just use the invisibility as well, and Lord, I don't, this is a fight!
Oh my god! Cherry with a roundhouse kick squashes Lord flat. The bug's gone. Vivo Keyed are on their last legs.
6-1 and 6 for Cherry on this Lee Sin pick, and you know, he's played Kha'Zix, he's played Olaf, these are 2-man Champions League shows, and 2-man Shockwave as well, but the disengage is there. But look, Vivo Keyed just, they can't even go towards the Elder. Lord is down, the Dragon is, the Jungler is down, and J-Team are just able to take this Elder Dragon really, really easy. And honestly, I don't find a way back for Vivo Keyed.
Okay, Odysseus 1v1 against Dawn. Slash and Mena here for reinforcements. Dawn will be traded out. DY is here for second wind here, looking for Odysseus burning down to ignite. He gets out alive, but Vivo Keyed, you gotta deal with the members of J-Team who are pushing into the base. And DY, he doesn't care if he goes down. His main goal is preventing and stopping the recalls, and the damage has been done. J-Team take 2 inhibitors.
Yep, he's just worked as a distraction at that point. You know, distracting the Odysseus, distracting the Nami and the Morgana, Slash and Mena as well. They're still up in this top side as well, Slash and Mena. And oh, they flashing in, but Barry's behind them.
Okay, DY goes down. But at what cost? They're able to get this turret, but Barry is here for reinforcements. Jerry coming in with the collapse. Mena's got nowhere to run. That fish is dead. And Cherry is there once again. Sushi's up on the menu, boys.
Sushi is indeed up on the menu. They're going to try and look for more picks as well, but they could just turn towards the Baron. Again, they're just going to clear vision. They're not going to take any risk with this Baron because Lord is still alive. You know, even though J-Team are trying to get these picks in the enemy territory, I love how patient they are at the same time as well around these neutral objectives. They know that, you know, in Wild Rift, all it takes is just one little mistake. All it takes is one little Smite still, one little Dragon or Baron still, or anything like that, and that could change the game completely. So again, they just look for deep vision control, and they got 2 inhibitors down now as well at the same time.
Yeah, and a big thing that we've been noticing here from Vivo Keyed is Odysseus is just fully committed to the split push. Lord, this is difficult for Lord at this point.
That's a dead bug.
Odysseus
is still here.
He was running towards Odysseus, but Odysseus probably in comms like, no, don't bring it to me. I'm on one mission, and that is to take as many turns as possible. J-Team are easily able to pick up stragglers, and there's nothing that Vivo Keyed can do on the opposite side of the map. So Odysseus, in a 1v4, almost taking out DY in the end. It's all for naught. Mena and Slash can't look to push back the super minion wave. Cherry is the one that is forcing them to retreat into their Nexus base.
And yeah, like you mentioned, you know, Odysseus trying to go for the split push, and he's just getting caught over and over again. You know, he's trying to push so far, where J-Team are just like, okay, it's just a free kill at this point. But now, because Lord is down, they know that they can secure this Baron, and meanwhile, they can just get killed while they're taking Baron.
Yeah, their goal here at this point is to make sure that Vivo Keyed don't get a chance to walk up and contest any of the main neutral objectives. They don't even need their help of the rest of the teammates. They're handling 1v1s and 1v2s all by themselves. Triple for Barry. At this point, J-Team have all the tools necessary. Another roundhouse kick to the face. Lord gets exploded. And J-Team shows the strength of China on the international stage.
Doesn't matter if it's the first seed or even the 5th seed from China. You can see that this region is here to play. So well played by J-Team. They take down Vivo Key, and they will be able to play in that game very, very soon against T1 as well. That's going to be a banger.
I'm floored. J-Team, once again, we cannot reiterate enough that the fact that the 5th strongest team from China is still so dominant against one of